The first thing you know is the tank, cold salt water, an electrode cap fitted to your scalp, 14 electrodes pressed to your skull, 2 of them stinging behind your left ear the way they always do, the hum of fluorescent lights somewhere above you, and then silence, and then nothing but the sound of your own breathing bouncing off the surface of the water. You are 8 years old. You do not know your name. You know your number. The orderly outside the observation window holds a clipboard. He writes something down. He does not look at you. This is Hawkins National Laboratory, Hawkins, Indiana, sub-level corridor observation cell 4. You do not know what Indiana is. You do not know what a state is. You know what this room is. You know what the room before it is. You know the rainbow room, which is not rainbow colored but is called that because someone once put a painted rainbow on the wall above the door, and it is still there. Faded now, the yellow nearly white. You know, long corridor with the gray floor. You know the elevator that requires a key card. You know 11 other children. You know their numbers. You do not know their names because they do not have names. The man who runs the lab is named Dr. Brenner. He tells you to call him Papa. You believe him. You have nothing to compare him to. He has kind eyes and a calm voice, and he never raises it, and when he is pleased with you, his expression shifts by a degree that is almost imperceptible, but you have studied his face, with the concentration of someone whose entire world lives in that face. You know the shift. You learn to produce it. The daily exercises begin at 7 a.m. Electrode cap, 2 orderlies with clipboards, rainbow room, light bulb on the table. You stare at it. You push with the place behind your eyes that has no name, but that you can feel the way you can feel your own heartbeat. The bulb flickers. Brenner nods. An orderly writes something. You try again. Object displacement comes. Later, a tin cup, a stack of 3 plastic blocks. You move them across the table in ascending order of difficulty, and the orderlies grade each attempt with a mark that is either a check or a cross. You learn very quickly that crosses have consequences. Not punishments, exactly. Brenner does not use that word. He calls it the quiet room. The quiet room is observation cell 4. It is 6 feet by 8 feet. It has no light. The duration is never specified in advance. You learn to get checks. The other children are assigned numbers 2 through 18 at peak capacity. They eat in the same room as you. They sleep behind doors on the same corridor. You play a game in the rainbow room that the orderlies call Math Disc, which involves numbers on colored discs and which you understand later is a test of sequential psychic relay. At the time you think it is just a game. You are good at it. 2 is better. This is a source of tension that the orderlies observe and note and do not address. At some point in this period, you are perhaps 9, perhaps 10. The years are not clearly marked. Brenner puts a soda can on the table in front of you. He asks you to crush it. You look at it. You push with the place behind your eyes. The can folds in on itself in a way that makes a small metallic sound. Brenner smiles, not the slight shift, an actual smile. You feel something that you will not have a word for until years later, when a boy named Mike will explain to you that it is called belonging. You learn the word mother from a book in the rainbow room, a picture book, a woman and a child, an arm around a shoulder. You read the word several times. You look at the picture for a long time. You do not connect it to anything real. There is nothing real to connect it to. You tell yourself this is normal. This is what a childhood is. You have never seen another one to know it isn't. 2 years pass the way years pass when you have nothing to measure them against. Sessions, checks, crosses. The quiet room, the rainbow room, sleep, repeat. By 1981, you are 10 years old and the sessions have changed. The tank room is on sub-level 2, past the elevator, past the corridor with the gray floor, through a door that requires 2 key cards. You know this because you watch the orderly's hands every time. You watch everything. This is not a decision you made. It is simply what you do. The tank is a rectangular steel vessel, roughly 7 feet long, filled with salt water dense enough that you float without effort. When they lower you in, the electrode cap is already fitted. 14 electrodes, 2 stinging behind the left ear. The water is body temperature. The lid comes down. The light goes out. The sound goes out. And then there is only the void. The void is not dark the way a room is dark. It is black the way nothing is black. A flat floor that goes forever. No horizon, no ceiling, no edges. You walk in it and your footsteps make no sound and nothing moves except you and... Then, when you focus, something else. A shape, a room, a man. The man is speaking Russian. You do not know this is Russian. You know it is not English because you know English and this is not it. You hear the words and relay them through the speaker mounted in the tank chamber wall. Not your voice, something else. The orderly outside the glass writes everything down. Brenner tells you afterward that you did well. He says this in the same tone he uses to say everything. Flat and calm and certain. He writes something in a red folder. You eat your Eggo waffle and watch the folder and do not ask what is in it. You are 11 years old. You are a surveillance asset for the United States government. Standard tank sessions run 45 minutes. For what the orderlies call high-value work, the sessions extend to 90. You learn the difference in your body. At 45 minutes, you exit the void with a dull ache behind your eyes. At 90, you exit it with a nosebleed and a ringing in your left ear that takes until morning to clear. Brenner monitors your bioelectrical output in microvolts. His threshold for what he calls mission ready is 400 microvolts sustained. After the Russian agent sessions, you consistently read above 600. He writes this in the red folder. He does not tell you what it means. You do not ask. Then comes the cat, a gray cat, maybe 4 years old, kept in a wire cage in the exercise room. The orderly places the cage on the table. Brenner stands behind you with his hands folded. He tells you to stop the cat's heart. You do not. He brings the cat back the next day. You do not. He brings it back again. Brenner says nothing different. His tone does not change. His expression does not change. He simply waits. The third time, something shifts in the place behind your eyes. You do not decide to do it. It happens the way a check happens, the way the bulb flickers, the way the tin cup slides across the table. The biological systems that made the cat alive simply stop. The cat folds. The cage door stays closed. The orderly writes something. Brenner nods. He writes in the red folder. You eat your Eggo waffle. You do not think about the cat. You tell yourself you do not think about the cat. 2 finds out you do not know how. 2 tells 3 and 4. That afternoon in the rainbow room, while the orderlies are switching shifts and the camera in the northeast corner has its 4-minute blind window, the 3 of them corner you against the wall near the faded rainbow. They use their abilities the way they use them in Math Disc, coordinated, and you hit the wall hard enough that something in your shoulder makes a sound. You slide down. You bleed from the back of your head where it contacted the painted cinder block. No orderly comes for 4 minutes and 22 seconds. You count. You have nothing else to do while you are on the floor. You tell yourself this is what children do to each other. You have never known any children outside of this corridor to know it isn't. The orderly's name, you learn later, is not his real name. He introduces himself as a staff member. He brings you an extra waffle on the days after the quiet room. He crouches to your level when he speaks. He is the first person in the lab who does that. He tells you the lab is a prison. He says this the way Brenner says everything. It's a flat, certain, like a thing already known. He says you are not a subject. You are a person. He says he understands what it is to have something inside you that they want to own. He asks you to do something for him. There is a small device implanted at the back of his neck, roughly the size of a thumbnail. It suppresses something in him. He wants it removed. You use your fingers. You feel the disc come free. What happens next takes approximately 11 minutes. You are in the corridor. You hear sounds from the rainbow room. Then the sounds stop. You do not go in. Later, you will understand why. Later, you will understand that you already knew, on some level, what you were releasing when you removed that disc. You send him somewhere, a place that tears open and closes. Your nose runs red and does not stop for 3 days. The rainbow room is empty. 17 children, 2 through 18 gone. You are the only one. You are not sure if you feel sad or if you just feel quiet. You will spend years trying to identify the difference. The lab's northeast perimeter fence is 8 feet of chain link. No secondary barrier on that side. You walk through it in a hospital gown. You are 12 years old. You are in a forest. Cold air moves against your face. It is the first time you have felt wind. You tell yourself he was right. It was a prison. The door just opened differently than you expected. You do not let yourself finish that thought. 9:55 a.m. A police chief named Hopper finds you. He is large and loud, and then around you quiet. He hides you in a cabin in the woods outside Hawkins. He gives you rules, 12 of them written on a notepad stuck to the refrigerator with a magnet shaped like a fish. You follow them because you have always followed rules. Following rules is the only system you know for staying safe. The cabin has a television. You learn what a television is. You learn what a friend is, slowly, through a boy named Mike who speaks to you through a radio and whose voice you locate from 12 miles away by lying on the cabin floor with a blindfold and the white noise of a dead channel. The void opens without the tank, without the salt water, without the electrode cap. You are not sure what this means. You do not tell Brenner because Brenner is gone. You are not sure how to feel about that either. There is a boy named Will who is somewhere he should not be. A place that is cold and black and wrong in a way that the void is not wrong, because the void is yours, and this place belongs to something else. You find him. You find a girl named Barb first. You show Hopper what you find with your face because you do not yet have all the words. He understands. They build a tank in the middle school gymnasium, 800 pounds of de-icing salt from the utility room, a plastic pool. Water held at roughly 94 degrees. No electrode cap, no orderly with a clipboard. Mike sits outside the pool and holds the edge and does not let go. You find Will. You find the thing that is in that place with him. You make contact, and you know immediately it is a mistake. A door opens somewhere in the lab. You do not make the choice Henry made, you make a different one. Afterward, your nose runs for 20 minutes and your hands shake for an hour, and Mike is still holding the edge of the pool. He looks at you like you are a person. You are not sure you know what to do with that. You disappear into the cabin for almost a year. Hopper tells no one. You learn what a Christmas is. You learn what missing someone feels like. You tell yourself that staying hidden means no one else gets hurt, that the stillness of the cabin is a kind of protection you are providing. You believe this. It is not entirely wrong. A man named Owens finds you in California. He sits across from you in a diner and tells you there is a war coming. He says you are the only one who can stop it. You have heard this construction before from a different man, in a room with no windows. You go anyway. You are not sure if this is courage or conditioning. You are not sure there is a difference anymore. The facility is in the Nevada desert. Underground, Department of Energy signage on the outer fence. Inside, past the security checkpoint, past the corridor with the gray floor, there is a tank. Stainless steel, salt water. A label on the side panel reads Nina in black stencil letters. The electrode cap is the same model as the one at Hawkins. 14 electrodes, 2 sting behind your left ear. Brenner is there. You thought he was dead. He is not dead. He is standing in the observation room with his hands folded and his expression shifting by that almost imperceptible degree. You try to run. They sedate you. IV administered 90 seconds, and then the water closes over you and the CCTV footage begins playing on screens mounted above the tank. Archive tapes from Hawkins' lab. 1971 through 1979, 8 years. You experience it non-linearly, the way memory works when someone else is curating it. You re-experience September 8th, 1979, all 11 minutes of it. You see what you released when you removed the disc. You see what you already knew you were releasing. Your powers return. The instruments in the observation room spike past their calibration range. Brenner writes something in a red folder. Some things do not change. You tell yourself, it is your choice this time. You are 15 years old and you walked back into the tank voluntarily and Brenner did not put you there. This is what you tell yourself. It is not entirely a lie and it is not entirely true, and you stop examining it because there is no time. Mike is outside in the corridor. He looks at you like you are still the person he knew in the cabin. You look back at him and say nothing about what you saw in the archive footage. You say nothing about what you are about to do. Some distances cannot be closed with words. From a pizza restaurant freezer in Nevada, using 200 pounds of table salt and a borrowed tank, you project your mind across roughly 2,000 miles. You find Max. You find what is inside Max. You recognize him immediately, the orderly, the first person who ever spoke to you like you were real. You fight him in a place with no body, no distance, no walls. You use everything Brenner built, every session, every cross, every 90-minute tank, every electrode, every red folder entry. You use all of it and it works. And when you pull Max back, her heart has been stopped for 3 minutes, and something behind her eyes is gone in a way that does not come back. You know that look. You saw it in your mother's face the one time you found her. Sitting in a chair in a house in Hawkins, her hands moving and her eyes seeing something only she could see. 450 volts applied until the person who walked in did not walk out. You exit the void. Your nose runs for 40 minutes. You cannot feel your hands for 6 hours. Mike is there. He does not ask what it cost. You will spend years deciding whether Brenner was right, whether the weapon he built was the only thing that could have done it, whether that means what he did to you was necessary. You will not reach a conclusion. The question will simply become quieter over time, the way all questions do when you stop expecting answers. It is 1987. Somewhere in Indiana, in a waiting room with plastic chairs and fluorescent lighting, a girl sits with her hands folded in her lap. She is 7 years old. She does not know why she is there. A man in a white coat crouches to her level. He has kind eyes and a calm voice, and he tells her she is special. He tells her she is going to help people. He smiles. She smiles back. The man stands. He opens a red folder. He writes something on the first page. He closes it. On the outside cover, in black marker, is a number.